In 2015, we started construction on our newest school.
We are a K-5 school, and we are estimating about 330 to 350 students.
When I think of our district goals of literacy, equity, and high school completion, it really starts with having a solid community school base for our elementary school.
The idea behind the school when it was first created was that the school would be one big learning area for all.
And to have an amazing school like that, you're going to have to name it after an amazing man.
In 2016, it was a pleasure of the Board of Trustees of the day to unanimously name the school Don Campbell Elementary School. Mr. Don Campbell was the first principal of G.H. Daw Community School. He was a Mayor's Award recipient for volunteerism and Citizen of the Year Award recipient.
Don ensured that students knew that they had worth, they had value, that they had skills that they didn't even know about.
He was always open. He was a facilitative listener. He engaged student, parent, staff all the time and listened and worked with them all.
He was a forward thinker. He would like to try new things. He was a risk taker.
He was a mentor,
a guide.
He loved to laugh.
He was very moral,
positive,
and he was an activist.
He believed that all of the community should be involved in our education system.
I think he was a giant among educators.
Just a true educational giant.
I will never claim that I can be like a Don Campbell, though I can always try.
Don spent the early part of his career teaching in the community near Hannah before moving to Calgary and becoming a principal.
He started in a one-room schoolhouse, and I feel like he really brought that mentality into a larger school system.
He looked back, and he must have looked back, because what he did, he moved the school out into the community and the community into the school.
He came up from Lasha School in Calgary to be the first principal of the G.H. Daw Community School.
G.H. Daw was one of the first community schools in Alberta, and it truly felt like a community.
Don certainly lived, breathed, and believed in that. He was very passionate about being part of the community, being student-centered.
So one of the qualities I think of with Dad was around welcoming dialogue and conversation.
Dad would love a school that just had everybody feeling good about themselves and feeling comfortable to play.
But every morning, whatever the weather, he would always sit in the student's chair. In the winter, the only thing that would modify that scene is he would have a blanket over his legs, and he would greet those students, ask them to take off their boots, and welcome them.
Every person felt valued. Every person felt like they belonged. Every person felt like they had a significant role to play.
Parents have a role, the community has a role, the teachers, the staff all have a role, and the kids have a role.
Everyone has a voice.
Everyone has a voice.
When I think of the lessons that I learned from Dad, I think responsibility to others, service to others, thinking as a community, and that we need to help one another.
Appreciating other people's points of view.
Be able to see the lighter side of things, so to have fun and to be positive and to be able to share that positivity with others.
He knew how to talk to a person, to get to know them better.
Don taught me the value of caring for people and letting people know that you cared about them. He taught me about listening to people, understanding them, and capitalizing on their strengths, and trusting and believing in people so that you could bring out the best in them.
I learned so much. I endeavored to model my admin style after Don Campbell.
The kinds of things that this school plans as its mission and purpose are the kinds of things that Don deeply believed in.
We had a chance to sit down with the Campbell family and talk about Don and his legacy. One of the things that became crystal clear to us was how much Don believed in community and how community shaped his school. So we thought, what better way to do that in our school than to create that sense of community.
Don Campbell spent his whole career dedicated to students and their families.
The kind of words that come to mind are caring,
honesty,
balance,
kind,
Positive, playful.
Forward thinking.
Above and beyond.
Family.
Inclusion.
Visionary.
Compassion.
Funny.
Empathetic.
Dedicated.
Citizen.
Citizenship.
A leader.
Community.
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 And a dad.
I think of respect.
He was there for kids. You know, he was just an amazing man.